Hola,
Hola,
buenos días.
junio 2023. Buenos días. Bárbara Campins, Mónica Fernández. Let's start. Tell us something about yourself.
All right, my name is Barbara Campins Cambra, and I am a Spanish teacher. I teach at LACES. I have been teaching here since spring of 2022. I teach Spanish 1 and 2. Born and raised in Venezuela, and I have been in the United States since 1995. I learned the language here through, of course, school, and the process of learning a second language inspired me. It played a big role in influencing me and inspiring me to become a Spanish teacher, as well as my family is a family full of language teachers also. So that served an inspiration.
Okay. Who are your students?
My students are a diverse group of students. I have different levels. I have of different cultural backgrounds. But most of my students are of Hispanic heritage, so they have a little bit of a background, and the other have students with different learning needs. So I have all kinds of students in my class.
Can you tell us about Spanish at LACES?
Spanish at LACES is a program that is very academic and rigorous. The goal of our department is to equip our students so that they are ready for the next level, and of course our goal is to help them reach the highest level of Spanish, which is AP, to university or college levels.
And now at the end of the year, can you tell us the highlights about your teaching practice?
There's many of them. There's many things that I've learned, especially through the mentorship under Ms. Fernandez. Being the highlight is being able to do or implement backward planning. Backward planning has allowed me to have a better vision of where I'm going, and therefore it has allowed me to tailor my lesson plans so that I am not teaching randomly. I have a goal in mind, and also students know where they're going and why. I can be more efficient with lesson planning, and also create end goals like projects or end of unit assessments that are more interesting. Tied in together makes it more meaningful, more organized, and more effective. The backwards planning. To improvise. And what I mean by improvising is that I can have a lesson plan for that day, but if I know or if I observe that my students are not grasping the concept, or they are just not ready for the lesson, or the energy level is not matching my lesson, I'm tailoring slightly so that they are learning, there's no time being wasted, and we can move on in the lesson. For example, let me give you an example. If I have an activity that is a partner activity and students are off task, it might mean that they are not ready for that activity, and it might mean that I need to change it, give them better preparation for it, or it might mean that they just are it's not the energy for the day. It's not what is the best activity. So I send them to do something individually, something more calm, quiet, okay? And the other way, it could also happen the other way. If it's a day where they just seem like a little bit tired, I allow them to maybe communicate, allow them to do activities that are more moving. So improvisation, just ability to change things up depending on the student population. And collaboration. So I learned to include more student participation activities, such as observing, for example, a text, or observing an image and predict what the content is going to be, then pairing their predictions, pairing with a partner and sharing their predictions. Teachers teach their classmates a concept or reteach a concept to them. I believe that this type of activities allow students to feel a sense of autonomy, which improves students' motivation as they feel empowered.
What about routines? Remember at the beginning of the year, we were working on routines.
Yes. So establishing daily routines have been incredibly helpful in supporting me in all of my areas of teaching. Has helped me in classroom management. It has helped me in using time effectively, and also to stay organized in my teaching. Daily routines that are similar daily, again, it doesn't only help me, but also helps my students. The students, as they walk in, they know what to do. There's nothing new. There's slightly some new activities, but the routines are very similar. So they walk in and they know exactly how to start the day. They can actually foresee what's going to be like the rest of the day. So we're moving from one thing to the other more smoothly, and there's less time to waste during transitions. Okay, this also with classroom management. Okay, because there's less time for students to be wondering what to do, and thinking that they are just not supposed to be doing anything in between.
The unit, they have learned the names of the ingredients of foods. They have learned how to compare foods. They learned how to talk about taste. They learned vocabulary and expressions of how to order in a restaurant, how to ask about prices, about beverages. And they had to, for this project, they had to draw their favorite food, their favorite ingredients, and in the presentations they had to describe it. They had to describe the taste. They had to describe if they prepare it, who prepares it, last time they had this food, how often they eat it, where is it from, or what's the cultural heritage, the cultural importance. And they had to compare this food with my favorite kind of food. So
Because that was your goal from the
yes,
beginning, and
the
you
goal.
did the backwards planning so they can build their paragraphs and their presentation.
Exactly, yes. And they did the writing in class. And then we did as a cultural project for Dia de los Muertos. They had to make these flowers, cempasúchil flowers. It's a day where we talk about the Dia de los Muertos first, and then they culminate with some
Skulls. They got to color them any creative way that they wanted. They had to write about it, talking about the colors and talking about themselves in the back.
to do a basically sort of like a study guide, but in a fun format. So they were assigned to gather all the information that they have acquired, all the skills, all the concepts they have acquired, and put them together in a decoration format, such as in a cereal box. So the cereal box is educational. It's sort of like kids' cereal box. They also had to create, do some drawings, some illustrations, games, little figures representing what they're talking about, representing themselves, comparing themselves to someone else, talking about a celebration. And it's a fun way for them to go back to the material and put it in a format where it's more visible for themselves and for even for the classmates, as this will be displayed in the classroom for other students to see. So as part of daily routine and classroom management, I create an agenda, or Ms. Fernandez has helped me create an agenda where we have the title and we start with the calentamiento, and we have the rest of the activities outlined over here. There's the left-hand side, there's the agenda, and on the right-hand side is their homework or whatever they need to know and prepare for the next.
I have a few challenges that I am aware of and that I'm working towards improving. One of them is learning who I am as a teacher. I'm learning to know myself and what my teaching style is, as well as my teaching the way that I interact with the students and learning about the students and what I am okay with. It has changed from the beginning, from my idea to right now. I have learned, I'm still learning about boundaries with students and learning about them and who they are within their age range and what's okay and what is not okay, and what I'm okay with, okay? But also within the limits of the school's policies. So it's a constant relationship that I have with the everything that I'm dealing with in terms of rules and who I am myself. So that's
What about your balance? Because I, as your mentor, I have been getting these messages, you know, in the middle of the Saturday night about questions that you had about your lesson planning. So isn't that one of your challenges?
To be honest, I don't see a way of not doing what I need to do to plan for the week, because things take me so long and so much effort. So I am having to spend a lot of time to plan one day, because I'm thinking a lot about how to do things and the best way of doing it for students. So that's my challenge right now, like just finding at least like maybe 1 hour or two during my weekend where I'm not doing anything related to work, because it's basically taking all my time, my mental time and my physical, my real time.
Including sleeping, right?
Yeah, including sleeping is affecting my sleep. Even if I'm prepared, I'm still thinking about it. Like, so it's just a period of adjustment, I guess. Student motivation. I am learning that I need leadership skills to know how to support students that feel discouraged when they are having challenges with the content, and how to keep them motivated and engaged so that they can push through till the end of the semester.
What about the future goals for your teaching career? Do you have any goals? Do you see any goals coming soon?
Yes, my goal is to be able to teach all levels, all the way from 1 to AP, and then also even Spanish for Spanish speakers. I would like to learn how to teach it. I would like to learn even the content even more to feel prepared. So I would also like to implement more dynamic teaching styles, such as setting up stations so that students are rotating and moving around, and also small group instruction to be able to help the students are on a different learning level. I would like to attend some professional development conferences, seminars, trainings. For example, the ACTFL conference is one that I've heard of, specifically for language teachers. Attend maybe just trainings, like weekend trainings on second language acquisition. We are in LA, California. We have a lot of potential students in our classrooms that could help be an asset in the classroom. So a way for them to feel like they are learning something new, that they are learning something meaningful, and that they can be of value in the classroom.
What about, can you give me any references that you've used for your growth?
I'm reading a book right now called Teaching with Love and Logic, and it has been very helpful. It gives us different scenarios that come up in the classroom, and ways to handle different situations. So basically, it helps you to teach with love and logic, really preparing you with that foundation to deal with situations that come up impromptu, or like very different situations. That has helped me a lot. From a second language acquisition linguist called Bill Van Patten. He talks a lot about the process of learning a second language and the stages of learning a second language, and has helped me to have a better picture of not just one lesson at a time, but just within the years, how students learn, how students acquire language. And I find it fascinating and interesting to me, and I'm growing a lot.
And you also belong to several social media groups, right, for teachers?
Yes, I belong to a Facebook group called Spanish Teachers in the U.S. and they provide a lot of, they share resources as well as share lesson plans. They provide also insight in like how to deal with specific like grading, assessments, and whatnot. So I'm surrounded by a community of teachers, not only in Facebook but also here in my school. My colleagues are also a great source of development too and support. All right, thank you so much for allowing this experience or this mentorship to take place. It has been very valuable. It has made me grow. It's helped me reflect.